Greetings, GameCola faithful, and welcome back to more Super Metroid. In the last episode, we explored all of Criteria that we could access at that point. We went further down into Green and then Red Brinstar, and now we have arrived in Norfair and grabbed a few upgrades, but we seem to be at an impasse. All of the other areas are either blocked off or are superheated, making traversal far too dangerous for us to continue. So let's head back up this elevator and take a look at the region off to the right side of the elevator area that I mentioned briefly in the last episode. This is why it's very handy to grab the map stations whenever possible, so definitely explore around to find those as soon as you can. Yeah, there appears to be something over here. It requires super missiles, all right. Very bizarre room here. And we need high jump to reach this area. Well, if that's not intimidating, I don't know what is. Let's go in. Seemingly no way forward. But if we explore around, I do think it's rather cheeky of them to put the bombable, or you can actually just shoot this block, but right at the door itself. That's it's very interesting. I do wish there was like a little bit of indication that something's there. And also, I completely failed to mention this. Points of interest on the map are indicated by these white dots. So they could be item pickups. They could be something like a recharge or refill station that we have yet to uncover. You can see that once we uncover them, they actually have a specific icon on the map, which is very nice. And the last save station you use, the one you will respawn at, is actually marked with an icon on your map as well. But obviously, we can't get in there. And it seems like we defeated every enemy in the room, but it still hasn't opened. So we've got to do some more exploring. Aha! And we can go up here. Thank you. Single file, one at a time. This looks a bit suspicious, and indeed. Convenient save room, which we won't use yet. Now that we have the spacer beam, I believe that does increase our firepower slightly. So again, not a whole lot here. But this does look a bit suspicious, and indeed, we can see that it lets us get to this area marked on the map below. And now those green space pirates that previously we needed to kill with our missiles do take damage from the spacer beam. Whoa. Whoa. What is that? It's Kraid! Oh. Well, that was anticlimactic. Alright, that's enough feigning ignorance. Obviously, that would be a pretty lame boss fight. We can head up here for a missile and recharge station. Out of curiosity, am I topped up on missiles? I am. And you can see that, as mentioned previously, it does not even attempt to refill our super missiles. So that is something very important to note. Although if you need to get more of them, we've got this wonderful little respawning enemy right here. Ouch. Ooh-hoo-hoo. Watch out for those spikes. They do a lot of damage. Now, people say that this person is wearing power armor that looks just like Samus's. I guess it's kind of similar. Now, they're sort of like oozing fluid, orange fluid, which I don't know what that is. That can't be healthy. And it's obviously a little bit electronic based on the sort of lights or other little colorful bits on it. But to me, it just looks more like a regular suit of armor. But it's got the big shoulder pads, so sure, we'll say that this is someone wearing a similar suit of armor. And this door here can be destroyed with 3 missiles or a single super missile. It also, of course, fires projectiles at you, which is important to note. I probably shouldn't have used a super missile there. I didn't actually mean to. Because we're going to need all the firepower we can get for Kraid. Shoot him with a few missiles. Now the room expands upward. Gotta watch out for all these projectiles. Of course, you can shoot some of them. Even if his mouth is only a little bit open, you can shoot him. Boom! There we go. He is down. Just a couple supers will dispatch him. But of course, you have to be very careful with your aim because you see his hand waved up and down, and it actually blocked a couple of my shots. And now we get the Varia Suit. Oh, heck yeah. They didn't need to do that little sweet transition, but they did, and I love it. So now we've become orange, which is interesting. In other games, our shoulder pads would have also gotten larger, which it's kind of a shame that they don't in this game. Actually. Oh, bam! Cut you off mid-scream there. That was neat. So you can see here, if we switch over to the equipment menu, or the Samus menu, rather, we can actually go through and enable and disable various bits of our equipment. And if we do so, Samus's appearance actually changes. And I think that's really cool. So you can see the high jump boots and the Varia Suit changes her appearance here. So it actually does make her shoulder pads bigger, just not in the sprite. It's a simple palette change there. Now, the manual may have said this, but you would not have any immediate way of knowing otherwise. But the Varia Suit, if you would not play the previous games, reduces the damage you take by half, I believe, or maybe it's by 25%. I think it's by half, though. And it also makes you immune to hot areas. So you can see here, this is the other way to dispatch them. Boom, just shoot up with the thing here. So it seems like more of a trap room than anything, but aha! Another energy tank. That's fantastic. We now have 399 energy. Very nice. So now, with this, we can return to Norfair and explore the rest of it. Of course, we're still not going to be able to go into this room because it has those little sort of vault doors or whatever have you that drop down. But we can check out this room. We can actually get up here by morphing in midair, but what you're actually supposed to do is shoot down to descend. We have these enemies here, side hoppers. They actually take 2 missiles, or 1 regular shot and a missile to defeat. So the enemies are getting stronger alongside us. It's a good thing we got that Varia Suit to help reduce our damage. Or, not to reduce our damage, but to reduce the damage that we take. We don't want to reduce the damage that we deal. That would be counterproductive. Really interesting, all these things coming up out of the floor. Now, this is something I don't think anyone would really know is here. Well, I suppose you could use a particular upgrade we'll get later, but I'm just going to grab it now. Now, you can see, of course, that standing in lava is still going to damage us, and no surprises there. But here we go. We've got some kind of earthquake going on. These little hoppers coming up. Got to do some tight platforming. Whoa! Oh, darn. Was trying to avoid getting hit. Okay, and now there is lava. The floor is not lava, but is surrounded by lava. So, got to be very careful there. Now we enter into a very weird area that is reminiscent of some of the bits of Norfair in Metroid 1, which I think is super neat. This particular room there is called Bubble Mountain, which is very apt. I like the sort of wavy heat effect in the background there. Very cool. Oh! Something down here. These enemies here, I believe, are actually immune to all of our current weapons. Even missiles and super missiles won't work. But we can grab a nice upgrade here, bringing our total missiles to, I think, 50, which is very nice. So the room continues upward, but we don't really have a good way of getting there. However, indeed, there is a way to go down. Ow! I didn't even see you. Hey, jerk. Well, I say jerk like I'm not just dropping in potentially their home or, you know, something like that. He's just minding his own business as far as I'm concerned. Really, I'm the one who should be considered the bad guy, but also needs must. This is an excellent refill point down here, because we have 5 enemies. Whoa! And we have a door that we can't open, at least not from this side. So that's all we can really do there. So let's head down. Alright, and here's just another nice refill room. By the way, let me know in the comments, what do you think of the pacing of this series so far? I've been trying to keep things a little bit casual. I don't speedrun anymore, but I did used to speedrun the ROM hack of this game, Project Base. In particular, the 100% category. The best time I got was just under an hour. So I am familiar somewhat with speedrunning, although there are certain tricks that you need to do in the vanilla game which you don't have to do in the ROM hack. I'm actually going to back out of here because I glossed over something down here. There is a yellow door. there is also this slightly suspicious little nook that is once again blocked off by a door that we cannot open from this side. So now let's continue into the other earthquakey room. Run, run, run. It's rising, and actually, fun fact, not to kill the tension of this room, but the lava actually just stops just below the floor. It does not continue rising up this chasm. I think. Am I wrong? I may be wrong. Yes, I am wrong. That's funny. I thought that it actually stopped. Although, admittedly, you would have to be moving very slowly to get caught up. As you see, I was just kind of standing there. Woo! Some more platforming here. Oh, and we're too heavy for this guy. But no big deal. Woo! These enemies here can take a real beating from our normal blaster. Okay. And we cannot get up there from here. It's a bit of a tease just to show us, hey, there's something up there. Missiles at the ready this time. If we head in here, you have to watch out. Ah, darn. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. Well, like I said, I am far from perfect at playing this game. I've played it many times, but I am not perfect. And honestly, I still have some reliance on Project Base, which changes up the physics of the game slightly and also redesigns a lot of the rooms. Ooh, okay. There we go. 55 missiles. And once again, this strange block that we can't do anything about. So, no getting to what's on the other side of that second missile door there. At least for now. Dang. These guys are tough to hit. Alright. That was a bit of a disaster as far as aiming goes. So let's try to do better. Aiming! 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 Haha! And we can go up here. Another one of these very nice multi-enemy points for refilling. Certain speedruns that want to go through the game very quickly sometimes don't get the Varia Suit, and you can actually make it through these heated areas just by going quickly, of course, but also by using these little farm points to refill on health. It is, of course, very dangerous. Now, how you would know that this upgrade is here, I'm not really sure. There's a couple of those in this game where they're really something that you would need a guide to know that they're there. There is an item later that will also help with that, but even so, you need to know where to use it to reveal the hidden items. But now, we have Speed Booster. Press and hold the A button to run. Well, I thought I was already doing that. Uh-oh. Let's go. Follow its advice anyway. Just go. Whew. Just made it. All right. Very cool. And now we have probably my favorite item in the whole game. Just because, again, of what Project Base lets you do with it, which is glorious. Now, we've gotten the speed booster. So let's see where we can use it. I was thinking about ending this episode, but I think we can go for just a little bit longer because there is one place where we... Ow. I was hoping I could get him with the bomb, but I was... Aha! There we go. More successful that time. There's one specific place where we can use the speed booster. So there is this long passageway that was blocked by rocks. And if we head over to it, you can bomb these kinds of obstacles to see what you need to get through them. And as you can see, speed booster it is. Ha ha ha. Oh, that's satisfying. And we are back out here. So now we can run really fast. I wonder if we can outrun these closing gates. Oh, yes, we can. Oh, but we crash through this, and we end up on these blocks here with this icon that we don't know what it is. We will need to remember that. Genuinely, it is very important that we remember that for later. Ouch! Hot, 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 hot. I'll try and jump over these pits to avoid using these poor enemies as step stools here. More of these enemies. And these, I think their fire blasts actually hurt quite a lot. Yeah, 30 damage even with our Varia Suit on. If we didn't have that on, we would actually be taking 60 damage from that. Well, we're not getting through here at the moment. So let's backtrack. Aha. Oh, something in here. Another door? What lies beyond? The Ice Beam. Another returning item from Metroid 1 and 2. Well, generally speaking, if an item was in Metroid 1, it was probably also in Metroid 2. But now, we see that we freeze enemies. Haha. Thus trivializing this room. Although, really, the room was already pretty trivial if you just had basic timing. But remember that kids played games, and I can certainly say that when I was a kid, I was not nearly as good at games as I am now. And even now, I don't consider myself that great. Of course, the enemies thaw after a period of time. Something important to note is that unlike Metroid 1 and 2's Ice Beam, the enemies are only frozen when they are about to be killed by the beam. So if an enemy has if an enemy can take multiple shots from your beam, you will actually do all of that damage prior to freezing them. Unlike Metroid 1, which was designed a little bit worse, because every other shot would freeze the enemy. So you'd shoot the enemy once, it would freeze and deal no damage. Then you'd hit them again, it would deal damage and unfreeze them. Which meant that it took nearly twice as long to kill every enemy. Which isn't great, but in this game it is designed much better. And now that we have the speed booster and the Ice Beam, so I think this is a good time to end things here.